Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Friday, September 26th, 8:30 at night, and this is our daily recap for our YieldMax weekly paying funds. Again, I'm combining LFGY in with ULTY and SLTY. So we've got the Ultra Option Income Strategy Fund, the Crypto Industry Option Income Fund, and the Ultra Short Option Income Strategy Fund. If you're not familiar, the ULTY and SLTY, they pick high volatility funds, and if they have a positive tilt, they put them in ULTY. If they have a negative tilt, they're in SLTY. They buy the shares and then sell calls to generate income and buy puts to protect them. And in SLTY, they short the shares, so they start off selling them and go negative, and then they sell puts to generate income and buy calls to protect. LFGY is just a collection of crypto-related funds where they do covered calls off of those to generate income as well. All right, I'm on X as well at ETF_Inspector1, where I post all things related to the videos, and also the ETFs that I cover. So if you want all the up-to-date information, you can follow me there. And sometimes the notifications from X when I announce a video premiere come quicker than the ones that come from YouTube itself. So before I get started, I've got some big thank yous to shout out. So I'm going to start with Grumpy Toad. Grumpy Toad was doing their best Oprah impression yesterday, handing out gift memberships to ETF Inspector. You get a membership, you get a membership. So started off giving away 10, and then a little while later, let's see if I can find it. Really, got to hit an advertisement in the middle of it. Gives another 20 away. So Grumpy Toad ended up buying 30 memberships to the channel yesterday and gave them away. So some people started thanking me, so I want to make sure you understand the thanks go to Grumpy Toad. And then at the end, Mr. Brian Beckett, the person who recognized my accent and knew right where I was from, gave $100 just because. So you guys have really made a big difference with all the giving. So I definitely appreciate it. Not expected for anybody to ever give anything. I was just hoping to generate some income from YouTube advertisements. So you guys, the giving has probably been just as much as the money made from YouTube. So thank you. I can't say it enough. All right. You can probably hear my voice is still a little rough. I'm still a little stuffy and sore throat, so I'm going to try and get through this quick. That's why I combined the videos, but I do have a little bit of extra stuff I want to talk about. Since it's the Friday video, we don't go as deep into the options. So, but big picture, ULTY was down just a hair, 1 cent, so not the end of the world. There, we'll look at the individuals on the spreadsheet. LFGY, basically, it was green on the thumbnail, but we call flat is green, so they were actually flat. And then SLTY had their 4th up day in a row. So good for them, trying to recover a little bit. So they had a nice week. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. After 5:30, we're able to download the trades. And of course, on Friday, it's the day where everything that hasn't been closed out yet has got to get closed and rolled. So ULTY starts on line 480, goes to 559. Brain's not working right now, so I'm not even going to try the math. SLTY starts on 561 to 585. That one's quicker, 24. And LFGY starts on 603 and goes to 667, so 64. Let me see if I can go redeem myself. What was it? 559. We'll call it 560. So 80, 79 trades. So not the worst Friday ever, for sure. All right, we're just going to breeze through this. Everything on this page for ULTY is closing out of the position and rolling to next week. or if it's already rolled the next week, then it'll just be closing the strikes that are already sold and adjusting them either higher or lower based on need. So starting off with a firm on the roll, $373,000 credit. Bullish was a $527,000 credit. CoreWeave, $425,000 credit. First Solar, $225,000 credit. Galaxy, now this is one of the put spreads. We don't own shares, so these are a little bit different, but Galaxy dropped, so that cost a lot to close out, $2.7 million. Hims and Hers was a $510,000 credit on the roll. Robinhood was a credit of $1.7 million. Material MP, MP Materials Corp. Had a credit of $690,000 rolling. Open Door actually ended up costing on the roll. So that one was all over the place. A day ago, 2 days ago, it was looking like it was going to be at $7, and then they're paying to close out an $8.50 call. So that one's definitely volatile. $180,000 debit. Palantir brought in a lot on the roll, $2.7 million. Pony AI brought in $440,000 credit. Quantum Computing had a $260,000 credit on the roll. Rigetti cost us $618,000. They've really been moving up. That's a crazy share price. If you take a look, a handful of months ago, I was thinking about getting into Rigetti and was too nervous and didn't do it. And if you take a look, why can't I find them? Too far down. If you take a look at their year-to-date chart, they've been in the single digits, and they're $31 right now. So could have made a killing. Rocket Lab had an almost $2 million credit. SoundHound brought in $510,000 on the roll. Tesla, this is another put spread, so this was a win, closing out real cheap, and selling next week's brought in almost $1.8 million. And Upstart was a credit of $910,000. So all in all, we had a $9.5 million credit or surplus or profit on the options trading for the day, and that was 4 out of the 5 days of the week, and an overall positive for the week. So and just notice what the share price did. It did go down this week. So there's people who were complaining because when the stocks were going up, that's going to mean you're losing the trades. But our share price was going up. So the stocks went up, the share price went up, the distributions were nice, and people complained that we're losing trades. Well, the only time you're going to all in all win trades is going to be if the stocks drop, and you see what that does to our share price. So careful what you wish for sometimes. All right, take a sip. Okay, so we don't do the orange on Friday showing what got closed or rolled. We know everything that was expiring today is now closed and rolled. And on Sundays, we do a week look ahead video where we will go over everything will be updated, and we'll go over line by line every underlying trading range it needs to trade in for us to win our options and still make the most money. So Friday's just a quick, did we go up or down, and how much money did we make? So first off, a firm dropped 2.45%, or a value decrease of $1.4 million. Bullish was up 1.2%, or about $1.1 million. Bitmine Immersion up 1.8%, or $1.3 million. Coinbase up 1.9%, or $3.2 million. CoreWeave was down almost 5%. That dropped the value by over $8 million. We got $600 million in First American obligation funds, and another $152 million in cash and other. So that's a pretty nice chunk, $750+ million. Figma down again, 2.7%, $1.7 million. First Solar down 1.3%, or $1.5 million. Galaxy was down, so we don't keep track of it because we don't own shares, but obviously it was dropping if their puts ended that far in the money. Hims and Hers was the big winner today, up 6.4%. That increased the value by 9.7 million. Robinhood was down 0.7% or 1.2 million. Lululemon closing 176.30. That left their puts in the money, but they're out till next week, so no action had to be taken. MP Material Corp, the big loser today, down 11%, 6.8 million. So luckily, we don't have anywhere near as large of a position in them as, say, like a Palantir. Look, we got 61 million in Materials Corp and 219 million in Palantir. Strategy was up 2.7 million or $2.5 million, 2.7%. Sorry. Open Door was down over 3%. Wow, down 3%, and it still ended high eights. 2.3 million. Palo Alto Networks, I actually think that was up for that to end that close to the money. Either way, we don't care. That doesn't increase our value. They're still out till next week. Palantir down 0.8% or 1.9 million. Pony AI down 0.6%. Not a very large position there either, 420,000. Quantum Computing down 2.1% or 1.3 million. Rigetti down 2.8% or 4.2 million. Rocket Lab down just about 0.8 or 1.3 million. Rocket Companies, I believe I heard somebody say they think is that Rocket Mortgage? I'm not too familiar, but it might be. Up 2.4% or 2.3 million. New Scale Power up 0.8 or 1.2 million. We got too many underlyings in this fund now. SoundHound down 2.5% or 2.2 million. Symbotic up 1.1% or 800,000. Tesla, I believe that was an up day, $440. Closed their puts out of the money. That's why they were able to close them for a win. Unity Software up 1.5% or 2.2 million, and Upstart Holdings up 0.75% or 1.1 million. So all of that resulted in a $9 million decrease in value. So 9 million out of 3.4 billion only comes out to be about a penny when you divide it out amongst 625 million shares. So yesterday, people bought into the fund in the form of 5.2 million new shares, bringing us up over 625 million. Like we said, at the start of the day, we're at 3.4 billion in assets under management. I think, shouldn't this say 9.21? I think that's the most recent one we just got paid today. And there's just something I wanted to talk to you about. I've had a fan messaging me about a different way they look at things. And so it's really good. I'm going to try and summarize it very quickly. This was a whole lot of messages back and forth, but I'm going to try and do it justice and talk about it in like a minute or less. But they didn't want any credit, but I don't want to take credit for an idea that wasn't mine. So I'll just let you know it's a fan. But they call this a cost per distribution. So it's a great way to look at your share price and your distributions. And I'm going to kind of like change it a little bit from their way to the way that I kind of like to think of it, though, because they call it a cost per disbursement or cost per distribution. But in the same sense of the idea, I just call it like a reimbursement time. So the point they made, so let's say stocks the share price is at $5.43. Most recent distributions 9.21 cents. So they were averaging over a long period of time and coming up with a slightly higher number. I don't like the idea of averaging, because if the share price was higher and the distributions were higher, well, since it's dropped, I don't think we're going to get the higher ones that played into that average. But I just look at it like, let's look at right now. So with the share price the way it is and the distribution the way it is, how many weeks of distributions would it take until you got your money back if you bought at today's price? So very simply, we could just divide the share price by the distribution, and it comes out to just under 59. And so since the distributions are weekly, That means in roughly, if you bought today and the share price, there's a lot of assumptions, obviously, in all calculations. But at this price and at this current distribution, it would take about 59 weeks to get your money back. That might sound like a long time, but that's ridiculously quick. If you think about like your large companies, your Verizons and this and that paying 4%, it's how long it's going to take 4% to get to 100. 25 years. So actually, the rule is 72. So what would that be? 18 times 4. Yeah. So and so it's a great way to look at it because people were freaking out about the price. Now, comparably, everyone was happy back when the price was, say, $6.30. They felt nice and safe. And when we were getting 10-cent distributions. Well, if you took that, I mean, that's going to be easy math. It's going to be 63. So at $6.30 paying 10 cents, it would take 63 weeks. So it's actually, you're getting your money paid back faster in this current price slash distribution rate. So that kind of helps you to see that the price really doesn't matter. Who cares what the price is? So if you're doing that math, the faster you get your money returned to you, the happier you should be. Because once you're playing with house money, then you can't lose, right? All right, so that's that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. It'll be LFGY. Let me take a quick sip. All right, so LFGY trades a little bit different. For a while, they've been nice and full trades at a time, but these past couple of days, they're back to their old tricks. So I'm not going through line by line if they only made, 5 option trades at a time. So just the full complete closeouts and rolls. So as far as that, BitDeer brought in 161,000. Clean Spark brought in 143,000. Core Scientific collected 130,000. Galaxy brought in 135,000. So there's your difference. ULTY was selling a put spread on Galaxy and the price went down. So they lost that trade. Galaxy was selling calls on it, so when it went down, obviously you're going to win that trade because it's going to cost 4 cents to close out your calls. GameStop collected 69,000. Robinhood had a credit of 169,000. MBTX had a credit of 152,000. Mercado Libre $95,000 credit. NU Holdings had a $92,000 credit. NVIDIA had a $17,000 credit, and Riot had a $186,000 credit. I don't think I said a single debit. So all the other trades are just little minor, small amounts, not full rolls or anything, but they basically won all their trades. And now, although I only talked about those, I did calculate all of them when I came up with my options trading credit or debit. So they had a credit of 1.3 million. And so clearly they had a very nice week. They had either a break even or credit every single day as far as options trading. So it was a good trading week for them, but that's going to come along with a drop in share value again. All right, when we look at the holdings, Bitmine Immersion was down 1.8%, 84,000. BitDeer was down 1.9% or 161,000. CleanSpark was the big loser, down 5.2% or 436,000. Coinbase Global up 1.9% or 250,000. Core Scientific up just a hair, 0.06% or 1 penny, $5,000. Circle Internet Group up 1.8% or 88,000. ETHA up almost 3%. 220,000. Galaxy Digital down 3.7% or 287,000. GameStop was up over 4.5%, 270,000. Robinhood Markets down 0.7 or 90,000. I didn't say it, but same thing, right? I didn't put the orange. Every single thing that was expiring today is now closed and rolled. Hut 8 Corp down almost 5% or 613,000. IBIT, and now that's odd to see ETHA, iShares Ethereum Trust up 3%, and iShares Bitcoin Trust down 0.25%. Generally, they're going to move similar to each other. Mara up 0.37%, 38,000. MBTX was down to 258.14. That's what allowed them to have a nice cheap closeout on their options trade. Mercado Libre down almost 1% or 70,000. Strategy up 2.7% or 332,000. Let's make sure that actually updated. Was NU flat? They were. Okay. Nvidia up 0.28% or 10,000. Opera up 1.16% or 12,000. PayPal up 0.8 or 39,000. Riot was the big winner, up almost 5.7% or 609,000. And Block down 0.01% or 1 penny or $900. So that is how they had an increase today of $256,000. So it is surprising that they were flat today when they increased, although it's slight, they increased and they made money options trading. So that makes me wonder if they went up after hours, and they did not. So that's interesting. That doesn't make any sense. All right, so our assets under management. What's happening here? Let's take a quick look and make sure we got all the right numbers, because those are not adding up. That's where you go to download the holdings. Oh, actually, these are already, they're not new. 5,375,180 or 187 million. 187.53. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the NAV be that much lower and it's break even? I guess this is just trading at like a 36-cent premium, which at that point would make sense why such a small change might not increase it, because it's already trading at a premium. This was what, 0.51? I'm gonna have to look it up. Was it 512 or 5102? I think I've already deleted it. I did. Okay, either way, it was 51 cents. All right, and finally, SLTY. We got a nice short one because SLTY doesn't have nearly as much holdings. So let me get a drink real quick. Sorry, I guess I have a cold, stuffy nose, runny nose, and sore throat, so throat's drying out with talking. Starting out, they sold short more shares of Bloom Energy, Duolingo, Lemonade, and Nebius Group, and they bought to close all of their shares of Micron, so that's why you saw the line through MU on the thumbnail. All right, in the week look ahead and payment distribution video, I'll go ahead and pull up and see whether they had an overall win or loss on Micron. But Bloom Energy trades resulted in a $4,600 credit. BitDeers was a $25,000 credit. Duolingo $5,000 credit. Enphase Energy on the roll cost $8,000. Lemonade's just selling more of the reverse collar. $7,000 credit. MU, this is just closing out Micron, cost $7,000, and Nebius Group brought in $3,300, selling more of the reverse collar. I keep starting to say reverse cowgirl. All right, so as far as the trades for the day, they made $30,000, and their share value pretty flat, went up $6,000. When we take a look at the holdings, Now everything's going to be reversed. If the stock went up, then it's going to actually hurt the fund, and if it went down, then it's going to help the fund. So Astera Lab was down 1.4%, which increased the value 14,000. Bloom Energy was up 2.3%, which hurt 16,000. BitDeer Technology down 1.9%, increased the value by 26,000. Circle Internet Group increased by 1.8%, dropped the value 18,000. Duolingo was the largest increaser, up 4.1%, dropped the value by 27,000. Enphase Energy down 1.56%, which helped 14,000. GitLab up 1.6%, dropping the value 18,000. Lemonade down almost 2%, increased the value by 13,000. Mara Holdings up 0.37%, drops the value by 4,000. Micron Technology up 0.28%, dropping the value by 1.300. Let's see if they bought at a better price than 157. So 157.27, 157.73. So it wasn't better, but it was off by change, not the end of the world. Nebius Group down 0.2%, increased the value by 2,800. RH was the biggest decrease, so that helped. 4% drop resulted in $40,000 credit. Symbotic was up 1.1%, or dropping $8,600. Tempest AI up 1.4%, resulted in a $15,000 decrease. So for some reason, these numbers updated after I got started. So I will change that on our other page. But that's going to basically be the end of our video outside of our dad joke. Let's just assets under management. Oh no, it's not. So this is a surprise. We haven't had this in weeks, but people buying into the SLTY fund. So somebody knew something's going on. We had 4 down days in a row, which meant 4 up days in a row for SLTY. So yesterday there were 75,000 new shares sold, bringing it up to 350,000, bringing the assets under management up over 15 million. NAV at the start of the day 43.18, and then it increased to the share price to 43.32 by the close. And I wrote that in the wrong one. That's the 55 I was remembering. I'll get those right. They're okay. You already got paid, so you don't care what I say that number is. I'll get it fixed before the next video. So, all right, that's all I have for you. So thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate all the support. Big time. You guys are the best. And so we still got a lot coming this weekend. Saturday I release all my trades for the week, and I had a bad week. So you can tune in for that if you want to feel better about yourself. And then Sunday I do the week look ahead and guesstimate videos for the ULTY, SLTY, and LFGY. So, all right, dad joke of the day. Last night I tried to read the whole dictionary in bed. I didn't make it. I got up to pee. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night. You get to take your mind off of options and trading for a little while and just enjoy your weekend. And I'll catch you in the next video.